Hello my girlies, welcome back to another video. Okay, it's your girl Riley. Today I want to talk about a little something personal, and I know this is kind of like a different type of video than what you're usually used to seeing and stuff. And also I know I'm in a different like background and stuff. This is still my room, okay? I'm still in my room, but the only thing is I'm not sitting on my vanity this time. I'm sitting on my bed. So, you know, I thought the back of my bed and my my room with stuff would be a cute background and stuff. All right, so Valentine's Day was a couple weeks ago, and even though it's already over, the month of February is still living, okay? Which means that love still lives, okay? And love should live all year round, not just on the 14th of February, all right? But I did originally want to make this video because it's something that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't get a chance to because on Valentine's Day, I did get sick. So, you know, when I'm sick and stuff, I don't really feel motivated to sit down and talk, you know? So I just kind of saved this video for a later time, and now you're finally getting this, okay? I also don't know if this video is going up during February or if this is going up in March. I don't know, girl, I'm a whole mess, but like, you know, we're here, okay? So I wanted to talk about my experience with love specifically, okay? So yeah, I have personally never been in a relationship before, and I've never like experienced anything of that, you know what I mean? Like, I've never had my first kiss. I've never lost my virginity. I have never held hands with someone in a romantic way, nor have I hugged someone in a romantic way like that. You know, I'm a big hugger, okay? All my friends know this. I love hugs, okay? But I've never felt that like love in a hug in like that type of way, in a romantic type of way. And I don't know if it's because like I just like, here's the thing. I want to talk about like my personal beliefs and my personal point of view on certain things with love and stuff. So I'm gonna just get into all of it, okay? So as far as I can remember, I have been trying, okay, or wanting to get into a relationship. I think a lot of us relate to this, whether any of you have had past relationships or not. But I think when you're young, you really just want a relationship with someone, you know, like you just really want to get into a relationship with someone, like have someone be like your partner, you know, be someone's boyfriend or girlfriend or partner, you know, whatever. And for me, this has been a feeling I've had since I was like really little, like probably to the point where I'm like too little to date, you know what I mean? But I just like, I've always been obsessed with the thought of like love and stuff. Like I've always just loved that, you know, like it's so cute to me. Like even back before I transitioned, like it was just like adorable to me, like to think like, you know, having a girlfriend, or, you know, in my case when I came out, like, you know, also probably having a boyfriend. Like it was just like, it was so cute to me, and it was something that I wanted to experience. I don't know necessarily, but I hate thinking negatively, especially about myself, but it's something I always do. Like it's a problem, guys. It's literally a problem with me where I'm always thinking negatively about myself, you know? Like if a friend won't text me back, or if someone I like just won't answer me, I immediately believe like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they hate me so much. I'm so annoying. I'm literally bothering them. That's just my brain, okay? I'm negative like that. But my personal point of view is that I feel like I've never been in a relationship because my whole life, you know, well, I guess back before I transitioned and like realized like, you know, my true self, what I'm trying to say is back when I was a boy, okay, I didn't feel like I was necessarily attractive. Like I didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel like no one looked at me like I was attractive. Like I felt very like gross and disgusted with myself, you know. I used to be a pretty big guy. Like I was, you know, overweight. My whole life I've always weighed like over 230 pounds. So, you know, when I was like, you know, in my teen years, like starting high school to like ending high school, like I was like, you know, I was overweight. I didn't really have a lot of fashion sense. Like I felt like I wasn't really someone who was very fashionable. Like my literal outfits from when I was like probably a teenager, like pre-teen years to probably finishing high school. No, that's not true. I'm probably like mixing it up with my high school years. But like from pre-teen to maybe sophomore year, I didn't really have fashion sense. Like my outfits, I'm not even joking to you guys, were an oversized t-shirt and basketball shorts and like thong flip-flops. That was my fit. Okay, like that's literally, or if I wore socks, it was with slides. Like that was my fashion back then. Like I was like, I feel like I don't try with myself, you know, and I felt like that's probably the reason why like I don't feel attractive, is because like I feel like I just don't try with myself, you know. It's like that whole thing of like loving yourself before loving someone else. I felt like I just didn't understand how to love myself at the time. My facial hair was always a mess, disgusting. Can I just say, as you know, even as a trans person, my facial hair grosses me out. But can I just genuinely say, right, I have no hate for people with facial hair, okay? So I think people who take care of it and like actually groom it and like actually like really express it, I think it's like, it's so like attractive to me. But I genuinely hate how ugly I used to groom myself back then, because I used to give myself the worst look for a beard ever. I'm not even joking with you guys. I used to have a neck beard. Like that was part of my fashion. That was my facial hair. I had a neck beard. Sometimes I would trim off the mustache and just have beard just like down here, right? Like that, to me, that's disgusting. I was like, what am I doing? Like, it's gross. Like I hate neck beards. I'm sorry to anyone out there with neck beards. I hate them. I think they're so gross to me. Like, it looks weird in my opinion, you know. I'm trying not to give hate to people who have that, but like, you know, it's not for me. Okay, I think neck beards are so gross to me. And the fact that I had one, right? I had one. Gross. No, absolutely not. My whole life I've always liked girls, okay? I'll be honest with you guys. I've always been a girl person, okay? Like all my friends who were girls were all boy crazy. I was girl crazy, okay? Now I never did anything weird, okay? Being a boy, being obsessed with girls, I never did anything weird. I just want to make that clear. But I always did, every time I did have a crush on someone, I would always get really nervous to the point where it was like eating me up inside. I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know if I should tell this girl, like, do I like her, or should I just not say anything, you know? Because essentially my thing is that every girl that I've ever liked, including boys, okay, including the boys that I've liked in high school, okay, everyone that I ever liked, I became friends with at one point, you know what I mean? Whether it's been, I became friends before I even realized I had a crush on them, or I had a crush on them and my way of getting close to them was becoming friends, you know? And my biggest fear when it came to like telling like one of my crushes, like, hey, like, you know, I feel this way about you, my biggest fear wasn't necessarily just rejection. It was also the thought of possibly making it awkward with that friend to the point where we're no longer friends anymore, you know? That was something I feared, because I was like, I love my friends though. Like, I want to continue being close with these people, and I don't want that just because I express my feelings to you, I don't want you to go away and like never talk to me again and stuff. And that has happened. I admit that has happened before, you know. There's been girls that I've liked who were like my friends, even if they weren't my close friends, but like I was close with them, and either I tell them or someone, you know, tells them that I have a crush on them, and it just makes it awkward, you know what I mean? Like, I remember back in elementary school, I used to really like this girl, and when her best friend found out that I liked her, her friend told her, and it made everything so awkward. Like, I'm talking sitting next to each other, not saying a word, awkward. I literally got chills from thinking about this. Like, I just relived that moment for a sec. And not only did it make it awkward, like seeing her like during recess or during lunch or anything like that, literally after she found out I liked her, our teacher sits us next to each other for the rest of the year, you know? Like, remember back then, like when your teachers would have like a seating chart where it's like, you sit here, you sit there, like you can't just sit anywhere, like you have to sit where your teacher assigns you. Our teacher moved tables, students, like every few months, and she moved me and her next to each other, which, like, you know, had she not found out and had nothing gotten awkward, I would have had a good time with her, you know, because we would have been next to each other, we would have done assignments together, we would have done projects together. But unfortunately, she found out, and I can honestly tell you, we probably lasted weeks without even like saying anything. Like, it was so awkward that like we didn't even say anything like for like 2 weeks or so. But I've also had moments in my life where like if a girl found out that I liked her, she would like get mad, you know, or she'd be like grossed out, and it basically be like a rejection that made me feel bad, you know, about myself. And I think that's where also like the feeling of like not feeling attractive, feeling gross came from, was because a lot of girls that I've liked, whenever they found out that like I liked them, whether it was me or whether it was someone else that told them that I liked them, usually like if they react like in a way where it's like they're grossed out, like ew, that's disgusting, or like, you know, or if they get mad, like I've had girls get mad because they know I like them, you know, like they've gotten mad at me for that, and it just like made me feel so weird and make me feel really bad about myself, to the point where I was like, I'm not attractive, nobody finds me attractive, you know what I mean? As far as with boys, I went to 2 high schools. A lot of people know this. If you don't know, I went to 2 high schools. I went to one high school my freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year I transferred, and then I did my junior and senior year at another high school up here. And I liked one boy at each high school. The one from my first high school, I was great friends with him because we had a class together, and I'm pretty sure this boy was also gay at the time. I was closeted. Let me just say, I was closeted at the time. I didn't even know my sexuality necessarily. This was around the time when I was thinking I was like bisexual, and I didn't want people knowing. Like, I just didn't want people knowing. As it is, like me growing up in school and stuff, I got bullied a lot, so I can't imagine like me coming out in high school, whether I was coming out as gay or coming out as trans at the time. I can't imagine how worse the bullying would have got for me. But yeah, this boy that I liked at my high school, I'm pretty sure he was gay, but it's not like we ever talked about it, you know. He just kind of gave off like the signs, you know, like he just seemed very like, you know, he seemed like a fruity person. So I was just like, okay, I think this boy is, you know, he's so cute, and we got along and stuff. But unfortunately, he was about 2 years, I think, older than me. And long story short, when I transferred to this new high school that I went to, it was his senior year that year, so we both left high school together, you know. But it's like he graduated, I left off to another high school to finish, you know. And then I went here and I met a boy who I didn't really know him that well. I don't even know if we'd consider ourselves friends or anything like that, and I don't even think he remembers me. I sometimes remember him, but I didn't have a class with him necessarily. I did meet him. I think I did have him in senior year, but to be honest, my senior year was on Zoom, so like I didn't really like experience senior year that much. So in person, I only met him a couple times. I met him in theater, which was, you know, funny to say that I had a crush on a theater boy. And we only talked like once or twice, you know what I mean? And we mainly talked about anime, because like, what else do boys talk about, you know? What else do Hispanic boys talk about anyway? To my knowledge, I think he was Hispanic. I don't know. Every single time that I've had a crush on someone, whether they've rejected me nicely or roughly, at the end of the day, all I end up doing is getting friend zoned. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned, I had a lot of moments in my life where I get rejected in really harsh ways, where it's like, we stop being friends, they no longer want to look at me, they get mad at me. But I've had a lot of moments where a lot of those times it was always just like friend zoning, where I just got used to that routine. I was like, okay, I like someone else now, I wonder how long it's gonna take for me to get friend zoned. Like, that was always something that happened to me. Like, I was just like, I was the friend zone queen. I felt like I had more friend zoned moments than like friends in general. Like, I was like, I've been friend zoned so many times in my whole life. Until this day, you guys, I came out as trans. I've worked on myself a lot, you know, like I have better fashion now. I fix myself up, you know, like I clean myself, like I'm trying to be as feminine as I can. And even being trans and stuff, like, you know, I like boys, but I also like girls, you know, like I have back and forth moments. Like it's so hard for me sometimes. And I do like people, you know, like I see a lot of people on, you know, my social media and stuff. There's a lot of really, I guess I can say really attractive, like feminine boys, because that's just my type, you know. When it comes to boys, I really like boys who are so feminine that like it just shows, you know, like you can tell that boy is so gay, you know, like I just love that about guys. Like that's my type in men. And you know, I just like, wow, like I just think like, wow, they're so attractive. But I just see them as like, you know, almost the same as I see a celebrity, where it's like, yeah, I love the celebrity, but it's not like I'm gonna marry them, you know. Like I think the chances of me marrying a famous person or a popular person online is like maybe 1 in 1,000, guys, you know. But then like it comes to my personal life, like not necessarily online, but like my real life IRL is kind of tougher, because for me, like I don't have a lot of friends in general who are a part of the same community as I am, you know. I literally have one friend who is transgender, who is trans femme like me. I have one friend who is gender fluid, like I used to be, you know. I used to be gender fluid, if you guys don't remember that. And like a majority of my, like the rest of my friends are all mainly like straight. And most of my friends are girls too. Like I don't think I have any like male friends anymore. Like I think that like kind of ended for me. Like I don't talk to any, like I don't really talk to a lot of guys who are, you know, my friends still. Like if anything, the only one that I do is my friend Chepe, from Chepe and Val. You guys know I always promote their channel on my channel, you know, and who I went and visited recently. So like other than Chepe, I don't really have a lot of guy friends anymore. So it's like all my friends are mainly girls. Majority of them are straight, I can say. So it's like even if I felt like I ever developed feelings for any of these girls, I don't necessarily know if I even have a chance anymore, because they all know I'm a girl now. They know that I like, you know, a mix of either or, boys or girls, you know, or whoever, you know, because I am pansexual, if you didn't know, okay? I can like anyone that catches my attention. But it's not like I feel like it's not like they would necessarily like, you know, date me, because, you know, girls being straight wouldn't necessarily date a trans girl who, you know, is their friend, because, you know, they just see me as like one of the girls, you know, who I love them by. I do currently have feelings for someone who I know, and the only person who knows about this is my best friend Fatima. And what I love about her is that like me and her can be on the same boat sometimes, you know. Sometimes we're so in love with someone that we know, but you know, when it comes to like people knowing like, oh my god, like I'm in love and stuff, like most people will try to push you to do what you don't want to do. Like it's not like, you know, when Fatima tells me about someone that she likes, I'm not telling her like, girl, just go for it, like go ask him out, ask him for his number, like go talk to him, go tell him you like him. Like I don't do that. I don't do that at all. And I don't think I've ever done that with any of my friends, because I know I couldn't be like that, you know, like, and I know Fatima doesn't do the same either, you know. I know, and that's what I love about her, is that like she understands me and I understand her. So it's like we both understand the struggles sometimes, you know. It's a girly thing. Like she knows that I am in love with someone right now, and she knows that it's not easy for me to just like tell this person how I feel, because I just don't know how they would react, you know. Like I just never know how someone's gonna react when I tell them like, you know, I like you or I feel this way about you. It's very hard to deal with these feelings trapped inside that you just want to get them out, but you're scared to just say it to them because you don't know what reaction they're gonna have. And this is actually advice that I heard from Alicia Marie and Remy Cruz's podcast, Pretty Basic, which you guys know, if you watch my vlogs, you guys know I'm obsessed with that podcast. Is if you have feelings for someone and you're just like, you want to just get them out, like you just want to like burst these feelings out, you want to just say, oh my gosh, like I just love you so much, like I just really want you to know that, like don't go and release those feelings to your crush. Release it to your friend first, you know. That's what they were talking about on the show, is don't go and tell him how you feel. Come tell me, because that is the way for you to like just get it out, because that's what you want. That's necessarily what you want. You just want to get it out of you, you know. But if you go and get it out to your crush, you don't know how they're gonna react, and they could possibly make you feel a lot worse, you know. So that's just like, that's just, it's something that's like you have to work on, you know. Like if you are developing feelings for someone, you do love someone like that, maybe it's not the best choice to burst it out like right then and there to the person. Like maybe go talk to your friend first, maybe go release these feelings to your friend first. Or if you're very antisocial with people and you just don't really have like a lot of friends, which is okay by the way, then like, you know, you can start a diary. Like that's exactly what I have. I have a diary right here on my little desk right here. I have a diary where I write all my feelings and like things that I'm like going through and stuff, you know. And sometimes I just get scared of like loving someone within my community, because if I like the guy or if I like the girl or anyone really, I get scared that like maybe they're attractive to girls. Maybe they're attracted to girls. But my biggest fear is not feeling like I'm woman enough for them. Like what if I fall in love with a girl who happens to be lesbian, and you know, technically I'm a girl, but what if I'm just not for them? Like what if they're just personally not attracted to trans people? What if I'm not like woman enough for them? And the same with guys. Like what if I fall in love with a guy who's straight and who's sweet, but maybe I'm just not for him. Like maybe I'm not enough for him. I'm maybe possibly not like woman enough for anyone. Like that's just a thought that I have in my head all the time. Literally last night I posted on my Instagram on like my little note that I was having a full-blown mental breakdown last night to myself because my dysphoria was kicking in, because I would see all these TikToks of like trans women who look just so beautiful. Like trans women, in my opinion, are so beautiful. They're so like, they're just so gorgeous, so beautiful, so cute. Like I think they are so powerful and they just look just beautiful in general, you know. Like I think trans women, and I'm not just saying that because, you know, they're the people in my community, you know, like I'm obviously a trans woman, but like I just think like a lot of these women, you know, they work hard to achieve where they're at. And you know, I'm someone who I haven't even had the chance to like start my hormones. So for me, it's like, it's so hard to feel woman enough, because I just sometimes like my dysphoria tells me like I'm not woman enough, you know. Like I will never look like these gorgeous trans women who just look like cis women, like they just pass, you know, like as women. And I sometimes just get my dysphoria telling me like you'll never be one of these girls. And like it's hard, and I feel like that's what's kept me from loving someone as well within my community, because I'm like, if I fall in love with a girl, what if that girl is lesbian, but what if I'm not woman enough for her, you know? Or what if she's not attractive to trans women, like, you know? So that's something that's always been like hard for me as well to deal with. And personally, like when I want someone to love me like that, I don't necessarily mean because like, you know, like I want someone to like, you know, I want to be with someone in bed or necessarily like that, you know. But and it's not like I'm rushing to start a family either, so you know, it's not like that's what's like in my cravings right now. It's just like sometimes like I just really want someone who can love me like that and to be here for me, like whenever I'm having mental breakdowns like last night, you know. Like I would love to date another trans woman if another trans woman like, you know, wanted to like be with me and stuff, because I just feel like it would be amazing to like release feelings that I have whenever it's my dysphoria or whatever, you know, problems, struggles. I want to be able to have someone that I can just like talk about these things with them, and they're gonna be here with me, and they're gonna help distract me from, you know, issues that I'm having, and they're gonna want to be here for me, you know, day and night whenever like we can, you know. So that's what I just like, you know, experience, you know, like that's just my life. That's my love life, my struggles with love and all that. And I just, you know, I think personally, I know love will come my way sometime, you know, at some point it will. But I don't know. It's so hard, especially right now that I'm like in love with someone who I don't know if they'll love me back the way I do. But it's just, you know, it's something I have to work on, and I'll just see how I deal with it. You know, we're all gonna deal with things differently. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of a serious talk I had with you guys, okay? I wanted this video to feel very like wholesome, but I feel like this video kind of got serious towards the end. So, you know, if you guys did like it, then please make sure to leave me a like. Please make sure to subscribe to your girl, okay, for more videos. I'm currently vlogging, so like, you know, expect my next vlog sometime soon. But in the meantime, you guys can watch all my other stuff, like my vlogs, my cooking videos, my makeup videos, anything you guys want to watch. It's all on there, okay? I also want to do more Let's Talk videos like this. So like, you know, I'm not gonna say that this is gonna be like my permanent thing. Like, no, I'm gonna do this like every now and then. You know, whenever I feel like I need to talk, this is when I'll do these videos. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.